Is it on now? Louder? Louder? Okay. For a while. Go sit down. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. To the installation of Sisterhood, celebrating our 50th anniversary. I'm going to start with the opening prayer, Sisters by Choice. We are sisters by choice. We have chosen to be there for each other, and at the end of our days, the friendships that we have made will be as important as the relationships that we are born into. Sisterhood gives us an amazing amount of strength to face the things that come before us that are seemingly not faceable at that time. Often, I think of my ancestors who are linking me to the past, but it is my sisters who are linking me to the future. We get to the future together by joining our hands together in sisterhood. Please join with me in reading responsively the following prayer titled, This is Sisterhood. We're each of us unique, but we do not stand alone. When joy abounds for one of us, we all celebrate. When sorrow envelops one of us, we all shed tears. This is sisterhood. We're each of us unique, but we do not stand alone. When success comes to one of us, we all rejoice. When failure reaches one of us, we all strive to recover. This is sisterhood. We're each of us unique, but we do not stand alone. When one of us gives birth, we all share the simcha. When death descends in our midst, we all are diminished. This is sisterhood. We are each of us unique, but we do not stand alone. When one of us chooses to pursue a goal, we band together in common purpose. When one of us finds the path too steep, we push and pull together in common strength. This is sisterhood. We bring to each other the warmth of family. We share in the presence and the promise of each other. We gather strength from the past to develop faith in the future. This is sisterhood. I now ask Debbie Rootman, Sisterhood past president and now Vice President of Social and Community Action, to come forward and act as the installing officer. Over here.
As we come together to install the officers for next year, we pay high tribute to those who've given of self with whole heart and mind and spirit, by dedication of self to Judaism through their service to our Temple Sisterhood. We are grateful for the services of those leaders who have now completed their term of office. As your names are called, please rise and remain standing so that you can be acknowledged by this assembly. Executive Vice President Bonnie Elster. She hasn't joined. Vice President of Programming, Gada Coblin. Secretary Joan Fader. Yay! Trustees Faye Sampson and Tony Kennedy. Okay. We acknowledge with deep appreciation the leadership of our board of dedicated women. We have been blessed by your diversity and unified by your commitment. You have discharged your obligations with honor, for which you have the gratitude of your sisterhood. Please be seated. Today we call up our newly elected officers of the Temple Sisterhood, women like Ruth and Naomi, whose paths are still unknown, but whose steps will be sure and steady. The light of the Torah will guide you as we work together. Please come up to the bima as I call your name. Executive Vice President Tony Kennedy. Co-Vice Presidents of Marketing and Communication, Donna Ornstein and Annette Kozicki. Secretary, Linda Arato. Trustees Mary Kleiner, Jenny Glickman-Rind, Joan Fader, Evelyn Lazar, Myra Elson, Karen November, Gada Coblin, and Bonnie Elster. Okay. Please read the oath of office with me. I choose to accept the office of the Sisterhood Temple Sholom, Women of Reformed Judaism, to which I have been elected. I pledge my energies and abilities to fulfilling the duties of that office. I recognize the leadership of Temple Sholom places very special obligations upon me, that it demands not only the work of my hands, but also the commitment of my heart. I now ask that the following officers of Temple Sholom who were elected last year and who are continuing in office for another year to join us on the bima. Vice President of Membership Development, Rita Nahila. Vice President, Social Action and Community Action, Debbie Rootman. Treasurer, Alexis Rothschild. Trustees, Allison Klein and Jean Angus. I would also ask that Rabbi Moskowitz join us on the bima.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you all. Thank you for inviting me to participate in this, and thank you for all that you do for our congregation and have done in its past and will do in its future. In thinking about how to bless you this evening, I thought of a story from Jewish tradition that has always been a favorite of mine. I don't think I've shared it yet with this congregation, but if I have, I'm about to give it in a new context. A man was traveling and wandering a bit lost through a desert, where coming over a rise on his last ounce of strength and his last bit of food and of water, just at the very end of all that he could take, he happened upon a tree, a fruit tree that was by a cool stream with cool grass growing around and beneath it. And so the man sat down at the tree and refreshed himself by the waters and ate of the fruit and enjoyed the shade. And after feeling refreshed from the waters and the fruit and the shade, he said to the tree, "O tree, how can I bless you? I would bless you with a cool stream that runs beneath your roots, but you already have that. I would bless you with fruit that others could come and eat from you, the sweetness of life, but you already have that. I would bless you with strong branches and great leaves that provide shade, but you already have that. So, O tree, how should I bless you? I bless you that all of your offspring should be like you. You are a blessing to us for what you represent, but also for what you will represent in the future, that you bless us with this incredible legacy of leadership that has gone through so many of the most critical, important moments of this temple's history. We would not be where we are without you, and we will not be where we are going in the future without you. O sisterhood, how shall I bless you? That all of your leaders are as good and as noble and as wise and as committed and as giving as all of you are this evening, and that generations to come of sisterhood will continue to lead and inspire this congregation. May you continue to be a blessing. Amen.
I would ask that Risa Devlin and all past presidents of Temple Sisterhood who are in attendance today join me on the bima for the reinstallation of Risa as our president. Please line up so that Rabbi Moskowitz can pass the Torah from each past president into the capable capable hands of Risa.
And as we're going to take the Torah from the Ark, I'll ask everyone to please rise. So why don't we all scoot down just a bit so Risa can be on the end here. And let me just come through. Excuse me, Sarah. I'm going to stand here so it's on the webcam, but I'll move there in a moment. Risa, we in a moment will pass this Torah to you. From hand to hand and from heart to heart. You know this Torah well. In fact, almost all of you, if not all of you, know this Torah well, because you wrote it. You wrote this Torah with your own hands. It is the Torah of our people, but it is also the Torah of our congregation. Just as it's the story of the Jewish people and their journey from the impossible odds of bondage and internment to slavery and to freedom and possibility. So too is the story of our congregation, as you well know, a story of the little shul that could, of an idea that grew from a living room to a place on 10th to here we are today, the largest congregation in Vancouver. And all of you have been a part of that, just as you were a part of this Torah. This beautiful mantle that is on our Torah, this cover, which was made by Lenny Fried, Cantor Tausik's mom, who made all of the other mantles in our ark, your sisterhood, this sisterhood dedicated this mantle, made this mantle possible. And it has on it the letters, they're a little jumbled up, it's kind of one of those word jumbles. It has on it the letters of Bereshit, in a beginning. In a beginning, we began to create. And you have begun to create and continue to create so much of what is so dear and precious to us. I cannot thank all of you enough for the leadership that you have given. It's not easy to be a president. It's not easy to be a rabbi either, but it's not easy to be a president. And in many ways, I think we have some of the same tasks and challenges. Thank you for taking on that responsibility. I know that it doesn't come without its own cost to your family and to your other interests. It takes a lot of time. It's holy work, but that doesn't make it easy work. So thank you for putting in the time. And Risa, thank you for holding fast to Torah, for making sure that this tradition continues. As we say, Lador Vador, from generation to generation, not only the tradition of Judaism, but the tradition of this sisterhood in this congregation.
Give it a hug.
Come here for a second. 1 second. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'chonecha. May God's face shine upon you and be kind to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God always be with you, Risa, through all of life's journeys and through this upcoming term. And may God grant you the greatest blessing of all, that of wholeness and completion, the blessing of shalom, in a world and a home and a family with Bob and all of your grandchildren, filled with peace. And we say together, Amen.
Thank you.
And Mazel Tov.
Thank you. Thank you.
Would you like me to take this from you? It's kind of heavy.
This is the day of installing leadership. This is the day of accepting duty. This is the day of sharing responsibility, and this is the day of rededicating ourselves as women of faith. The leaders of our people have always carried the Torah, held it aloft for all to follow. this sacred book is at the heart of Judaism and in the hearts of all synagogue women. This is the source from which we receive the understanding of all our aims and purposes. Where's our talit?
We put this over Risa?
Yes.
Okay. Bob, you want to come under here? We can take care of something if you want.
Okay. Risa, as you cradle this Torah, may your path be enlightened by its sparkle, and may you gather its strength from its teaching. Please now read your oath of office.
I do solemnly pledge to perform, in accordance with the Sisterhood's Constitution, the responsibilities of the Office of Sisterhood President. I dedicate myself to these duties. This is my pledge, freely given, upon which I ask God's blessing.
Amen.
Amen. Mazel tov and b'chatzlacha to all of you. May your term of office be rewarding and successful.
Amen. Please be seated. It's appropriate. You can applaud now. It's okay.
Thank you. You're beautiful. Thank you. Shalom, everybody. Thank you all for coming and I'm going to move over here, and your ongoing support of sisterhood. I want to take this opportunity to thank my sisterhood for re-electing me as their president for the upcoming term. It is an honor and privilege to be chosen to lead a group of over 200 women in our sisterhood, many of whom I have worked with in different capacities over the last 2-year term and the 10 years prior, and many who have become friends. I am humbled that you all would place your faith and trust in me. I thank you for the opportunity to serve you. How fortunate, as a sisterhood member, there's always someone to talk to, someone to share joys and sorrows, sisters who share talents and ideas, learning from one another and giving to one another, all working towards a common goal, the growth and development of our temple community. There are no strangers in sisterhood, only friends who you haven't met yet. We're always looking for new members and welcome anyone who is interested to come and join. You could do as much or as little as your time and energy allow. We hope we can welcome you as a sister. The talit that was presented to me as sisterhood president, I will continue to wear until the end of my second term, at which time it will be passed to our new president. The talit was purchased with funds given by Donna Ornstein, a past president, in memory of her mother. This woman of the wall talit has been used at sisterhood installations, Shabbat services, and conventions, and will become a tradition to be passed on from president to president. I am honored to wear this talit representing the Sisterhood of Temple Sholom, and I'm anxious to see where it continues to take me on my journey. As I continue on my second 2-year term, I'm thrilled to be part of the 50th anniversary of our sisterhood. This installation, being the opening event, will be followed by many exciting events in the coming year. We hope you will come out and support your sisterhood. This past year has been an exciting one. You will see on the report card that most of you should get, or get on the way out if you haven't already, that many activities that we have accomplished. Most notably, the $5,000 donation to the temple to purchase Torah covers for the new Torah, financial contribution to Sisterhood's Camp Kalsman Campership Fund, Shabbaton weekend in honor of Cantor Naomi Tossig, a Kiddush lunch honoring Sarah Chachi's 90th birthday, in addition to the publishing of Sarah's cookbook, with all profits going to the Jewish Food Bank, a cause Sarah holds dear to her heart. We held a strawberry tea honoring Sharon Mishler, the wife of Rabbi Dan. Our Tikkun Olam Gogos sewed 1,954 tote bags and 525 pouches for a total of $68,844, with proceeds going to the Stephen Lewis Foundation. We were honored by the WRJ Pacific District with the Eleanor Kretzer Kavort Award for excellence in programming for a community conversation about death and dying. These are just a small sampling of the many worthwhile projects and programs we held during the past year. In carrying on my second two-year term as president, we must not forget the legacy left behind of those that came before us. To those board members stepping down, I can't thank you enough for your time, your energy, your ideas in providing a very important role for your community. A thank you doesn't hold a candle to all your efforts. To those new board members who have stepped up to the plate and taken on a board or trustee position, we welcome you. We hope you are as excited as we are for the new energy and ideas that you will bring to the table. We know this will be a rewarding year for you all. And last but not least, to our clergy and office staff who went out of their way to support our many projects and ensure that they came to fruition. And to my husband Bob and my family who are always in support of all that I do and the time it takes me away from them. Since the inception of Sisterhood Award, 9 Sisterhood members were awarded with the Jan Pollack Recognition Award, named after Sisterhood's first president. This award is given to a woman of sisterhood who has given exceptional service to our temple community and our sisterhood. Jan Pollack exemplified the women we have honored in her name. She was a strong and forthright woman who broke barriers for women to serve in leadership roles in our community. It gives me great pleasure to announce this year's recipient of the Jan Pollack Award to a woman who doesn't hesitate to jump in with ideas and help wherever needed, dedicates herself to any project she undertakes, committed to achieving her goals, a member of the Sisterhood Executive for the past 4 years, one of the founders of the Sisterhood Knitting Club, an administrator and a beautiful voice in our choir, a sisterhood photographer, a sisterhood co-vice president of marketing and communications, our Facebook and Twitter administrator, an outstanding cook, caterer, event coordinator who has facilitated many kiddish lunches and special events for sisterhood, and most recently, a new mom to her son Max. This year, the award is given to Annette Kozicki. Annette, do you want to come up? It is an honor to present. It is an honor to present you on behalf of Sisterhood of Temple Sholom with this well-deserved award. May your sisterhood continue to inspire you, to energize you, and to motivate you to continue the good work that you do. Mazel tov and Yasher Koach.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Thanks.
Now I call upon Glenda Gutman to say a few words about our past leadership, the past presidents.
Okay. Thank you. Sisterhood leadership. I was asked to talk about leadership, and I looked up words about leadership, and I thought about leadership, and I could, thank you, I can move over to one of them, thank you. That better? Okay. I can think of all sorts of words about it, but I decided to start at the very beginning, because groups start very early in our lives. We start with play dates for the children, usually same-sex ones, but as socialization groups begin, the boys form gangs and war on each other, and the girls form clubs with many rules and very strict requirements for membership. As the girls grew up, they joined guides, sororities, book groups, sisterhoods, and various auxiliaries. The women helped each other, and their leaders emerged. They welcomed new members who shared their hopes and wanted to work together on something that was greater than that initial lemonade stand started by 8-year-old girls. In these sisterhoods, we learn many basic leadership skills and work with others for causes. It was a long step from that lemonade stand with all the profits to the SPCA. Our sisterhood leaders are not just the 28 presidents who have and do serve Temple Sholom. Our founder, Jan Pollack, a dear personal friend, and our third president, Natalie Kahn-Weinstein, also a dear personal friend, both are gone from us. Each was an example of leadership. They taught us pride in being Reform women in a community that was not always ready to accept Temple Sholom. Jan brought in Reform women leaders from Seattle to encourage us and teach us the role of sisterhoods some 50 years ago. Natalie was instrumental in leading us in perfecting, among other things, our catering skills, and her open, friendly, and cheerful personality drew us together. Two presidents, Sarah Ciacci and Marie Henry, each led us for 2 terms. There is on the list the mysterious president called Floating in 97-99. One past president, Linda Coleman, has returned to Toronto. For 2 past presidents, we have no recent address. There are 24 other past presidents. Most are still Sisterhood members. Joyce Cherry and Jan Pollack also served as Temple presidents. Temple Sisterhood started with typical female projects. First, there was food as we nurtured and supported each other. Each bar or bat mitzvah became an event to work on. Leaders like Natalie emerged to teach reluctant learners like me how to drape a table, make a proper radish rose, and prepare an event that would please the family. It was a fundraiser for us, but also a mitzvah to ensure that each family, no matter their circumstances, would have their special event. Our presidents and leaders brought us to work on social justice. The boat people, Russian families, Sarajevo refugees, these projects brought out new leaders in sisterhood as projects interested and involved them. We reached out to the Vancouver community through Dress for Success, bedtime kits, Wish, and to the international community through the Stephen Lewis Project and our wonderful go-go bags. Our projects raised funds for many temple projects. President or member, leadership in sisterhood comes in all forms and is constantly evolving. Sisterhood members now serve on national and international boards. They wear with pride special tallit, honoring them for their leadership in these larger communities. There is leadership at many levels. Someone organizes the soup sisters, break the fast food, appears as if by magic, and volunteers are supplied for all manner of temple events. Sisterhood means we are a group, a community, a friendship, a family. Leadership says we look to the future and will initiate further new programs. What was enough 50 years ago will continue to grow and change to bring in and involve new members and leaders. I'd like to ask those who are here when I read the list of the names of presidents to stand and to remain standing. I'm going to list them all. Jan Pollack, Lee Harrison, Natalie Kahn-Weinstein, Maxine Vines, Linda Rosenfeld, Marge Perlman, Bonnie Gertzman, Lenore Etkin, Sarah Ciacci, Gail Bobroff, Maureen Newman, Linda Zaks, Marley Shannon, Joyce Cherry, Jean Angus, Carol Polsky, Isabel Somick, Sarah Ciacci again, Carol Walker, Susan Lampert, Joan Fader, Marie Henry again, Floating, Gada Coblin, Debbie Rootman, Marie Henry, Donna Ornstein, Alexis Rothschild, Risa Devlin, and missing names of Helene White, Linda Coleman, and Brenda Birch. Now, if you'll just stay there for a minute, somebody is going to come round. You may have been president twice, but you only get one gift. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for letting me have my little speech. Thank you.
Okay, I now call upon Debbie Rootman to finish with the closing prayer. Where did she go?
I'm behind you. I'm not that skinny. I'm not skinny at all. Please join me in the closing prayer, our divine spark. Each of us has a divine spark within, our very own piece of the shattered vessel, striving to be reunited to create a better world. Like Ner Tamid, it is ever present inside. When we are rejoicing, when we are in mourning, when we are laughing, when we are praying, when we are in need, and when we are fulfilled. Sometimes a quiet hum, yet often a loud noise, always propelling us forward, never separated from our being. We are the keepers of our light in search of a perfect world. As sisters, we come together, creating a brighter fire in each of us, burning our unique flames like a twisted Havdalah candle that secures its life from each individual wick, putting together the pieces that make us complete,
when
when we are baking, when we are planning, when we are dancing, when we are crying, and when we are helping others. And when we link arms in sisterhood, our eternal flames shine brighter. Our purpose is stamped out through community, and our lives enriched by Tikkun Olam, to bring the divine that is much closer to us all.
Thank you, everyone. This has been such a lovely and fitting evening, and it would not be complete if we didn't acknowledge the sanctity of the moment with Havdalah. If we waited for the actual time of Havdalah, I would be asleep, and probably many of you would too, as I don't think it's till about 10:45 tonight. But we will instead do Havdalah now, and we'll do it outside in our courtyard so that we can appreciate the beauty of this spring, almost summer evening. So if you'll join me, please, outside. You can go through this side door here or the others, and we'll gather. Let's gather in a circle together, or as much as we can, to do Havdalah. Take the green sheet with you.